Okay, my dear friends, in the last section we are already discussing about the object snap now, and today's section we are going to discuss about selections. Okay, so now look at here, friends. In AutoCAD now, so we have some different type of selections are there. So what are the selections here? I'm going to be discussed with you. The first selection is called as just a minute. Okay, the first selection is called as a single entity, friend. What is that? Single entity. Okay, and the second one is called as, first one is single entity and the second one is, okay, I'll better to show it in the notepad so that we can, okay, single entity, window selection, and we have a cross selection, and we have window polygon, and we have cross polygon, and we have a fence, and we have we have all and areas, and we have last, and we have Q select. Okay, this all is a selection types to you, so you can observe clearly. Yeah, so this is what the single entity, window selection, cross selection, window polygon, cross polygon, fence, all, previous, last, and Q select. This all things are is called as a selection types. Now I'll explain to you. So what is a single entity? The single entity means is nothing but, for example, if you are taking the lines now here, for example, I draw a line like this. So I draw a line here, and I draw one more line here. Okay, I draw like this. See friend, we have the 4 lines here, but if you want to be select these 4 lines now, so we need to click that objects. For example, I'm clicking that and I'm selecting it. Click it, select it, click it, select it. If you select like this, then we call that it is a single entity. It means one time we can select only one object, that is called single entity. Okay, now let us go for the window selection. The window selection means is nothing but we are starting from the top side, so it means we are starting from here and we are ending from here. Okay, and here we can observe, friends, so we are starting from the top there here and we are ending here. So means what, we are drag the mouse like this, means we are taking here the mouse and we have to be move the mouse here, and after we release here, then what happens? Only these 3 objects are selected, this object is not selected. Why? Because of the window selection rule is the total object should inside of the selection, then only objects are going to be selected, otherwise the objects are not going to be selected. That is the rule of the window selection. So always the window selection will start from the top and it ends from the bottom. Now you can see that all the objects are inside of the selection, so all the objects will going to be selected. Okay, now let us move into the here. This is cross selection. Can observe that window selection is having blue color. Okay, blue color, the indication the selection is blue color. But the cross selection, how we do that? Cross selection is the reverse of the window selection. It means the cross selection starts from the bottom and it ends from top. But here can observe that, so I'm clicking that all objects are selected. Why? Because of they have one reason. See friend, the cross selection is not required total object should inside of selection. So cross selection is required that some part of the object is inside of the selection, or that part of the object, so or the object is touches to the selection, that objects are going to be selected. That is called cross selection, and the cross selection is showing it to you green color. See friend, the window selection color and the green cross selection color, it can be changed. So by default is showing that colors, but if in case if you wants to be change that color, so it's possible to change the color also. Windowing area color command is there, crossing area color is also command is there. So by using of that commands now, so we can change it, no problem. Okay, observe friends, window selection or cross selection we are doing by rectangle style, so we can't able to make it in a free form, but the window polygon and the cross polygon will do that. So how? So we can see now, click it, and after that we need to type WP. We need to click the mouse button one time and we need to be followed by WP and enter. Now you can see this is a polygon selection, so it means we can easily make selection like this. And one more thing friend, the line is started, means the selection is started here and the selection is ends after this point. Okay, so if you want to be end here, it's not possible. Clear? See, I'm clicking here, but if I'm pressing enter, it's not happened. Why it's not happened means because of the reason is the end point is here, but the should be this point, the end point should be outer of this point. So that's the reason I click it here and enter. So now it's selected. And what object is inside of the selection, that object is only selected. But window polygon or cross polygons are both are same, but window selection makes rectangle, but window polygon will make different shape, and the cross polygon is also same thing. See, so I click it and I'm using CP enter. Okay, now I can drag like this. See, and this is also having same role. So I'm clicking on outside enter. Now I can see select. This is the way we are going to select, and the window cross or polygon. Now we are moving to the fence. See friend, what is the exact meaning of the fence now? See friend, if the one fence lines are drawn like this, if that line is touches to any object, that objects are going to be selected. How? Click it and F enter. So we need to click the mouse button, then after we need to be press F enter. If you press F directly, it sticks fillet. Okay, mind it. So, okay, so now I'm clicking here and I'm dragging it like this and enter. So what happens? So objects are selected. So that is called fence. Okay, next, and go by all. What is the meaning of all? Already we know that Control A, we know the command Control A. Control means select all things. Next one is previous. What is that? You can see now, if I select this amount of selection and I set it as a one selection. I set as one selection. How? We can use the command that is pre-select. When I'm using the pre-select command, it shows it to you unknown command here. Why it show it to you unknown command? Because of the reason is the pre-select command compulsory wants to know that what objects are there or not. So that's the reason we need to be on the properties first. So we can on the properties by using of ch. So ch means as a properties are change, we call that. So now properties are on here and we can close this, no problem. So now we can use pre-select, no problem at all. Okay, I use pre-select and I can select the objects. It means I'm selecting that all those objects and enter. It means it's one set. It is a one set. So where you are using this set? For suppose if you want to be take a copy of that particular set now, I just you are using copy command and I can use P command. P for previous. So I can enter. So now what happens? What objects are selected? What the objects were selected previously, that objects are selected now. That is exact meaning of previous. Okay, and we are going for the next thing, that is last. See friend, suppose if I am erasing something, like for example E enter, and what is the last object I made it, that object I want to be delete now. Well, enter. E for erase, L means is nothing but last, and previous and last commands are both the selections we are using inside of the command. So, okay, enter. Now you can see what last objects we have made it this. So that's the reason they selected now. Okay, that is called last. Okay, now let us move into the next one, that is called Q select. It's my favorite selection. So why? Because of they have a reason friend. For suppose in an AutoCAD we have made the so many objects, and that so many objects now if you wants to be select as a particular object, then how we can select it? Yes, it's possible. If you know that properties of that particular object, we can select it. So that is the thing is doing by the qselect command. The qselect command is basically useful for to make a selections by using of the properties of the object. How? You can see now. Yes, I can type qselect enter, and after that we can see now apply entire drawing. Yes, I want to be apply my selection settings to the entire drawing, and object type is having that, and we have the text also here, and we have the objects also here. So that's the reason they're showing that you multiple. But if in case if you want to be select in our line side, we can just move it and we can select the line, and here in the property I can select the length. So here this is equal to is that operator, but I can say now greater than. I can use 10. So it means my line is greater than 10 distance, it's going to be selected. Now click OK. Now no objects are selected here. Why? Because of this objects are not greater than 10. So that's the reason it's not selected. Clear? This is the about the selections, friends. So the selections are here. And see, this much of selections are why I'm explaining. Because of the reason is, for suppose if you are going for the inside of commands like extend command or copy command, move command, rotate command, and all those commands we are using it. At that time means we need to select the objects. If you want to be select the objects now, so how we are going to select? We know window or cross selections now, so we need to use, we are using only that selections. But if in case I want to be used in a different way, then I can use this selections here. And one more thing, friend, if you are in any command, if you want to be use the selections, we are type it that what I give it a command. If you want to be use the fence now, no problem. If you are in the command, we can type F enter, then automatically the automatically fence selection is activated. Okay. If you want to be if you want to be use previous, just we are going for command, and the command we can go by p enter. When the command is asking selected objects, at that time we can use this type of selections to you.